There is so much information out there on the internet. Like your parents used to say, don't believe everything you read on the internet. That is especially true when it comes to Illinois DUIs and whether or not you're going to be better off getting a reckless driving. That is a complex subject and without a straightforward answer, but I'm going to give you the answer right now. All right, this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. We have represented thousands of Illinois drivers on DUIs over the years, and it's insane how many people, but also lawyers, are just straight up wrong about this topic. So here's what I mean. When you are charged with the DUI for the very first time, we're just talking about first-time DUIs here. If you got a whole bunch of them in your past, well, we got a different issue, right? But first-time DUIs, you don't love it. You don't like it. It feels terrible. You wish you didn't have this DUI. You're worried about your record, right? Does that sound familiar? So one thing that you may be thinking about is, can I get this DUI changed or amended to reckless driving? Reckless driving. That feels so much better. I can get rid of the DUI and I can have a reckless driving instead. I can live with that. I feel okay about that. That's the thought process that so many of our clients go through. And so then they ask me, like, can I get a reckless driving? How can you just take care of this in a way that's a reckless driving and not a DUI? Good question. Fair question. I know where you're coming from with that question. The problem is you may not actually be better off. That may be actually a terrible outcome for you. And the thing that really bothers me is that other lawyers sometimes know that that's what you want. They know that emotionally you hate the idea of a DUI and you are okay with the idea of a reckless driving. So I've seen other lawyers do that. I've seen other lawyers achieve that for their clients because they know their clients are going to feel good about it. But I think it's important for a top DUI lawyer, someone who's really going to take care of their clients, has a responsibility to get the best outcome for their clients. They need to look deeper than that because that reckless driving may have been a terrible outcome and we could have gotten something much, much better. All right, so this is a little unique to Illinois. We like to do our own things here in Illinois, apparently, because Illinois has this thing called court supervision. Many offenses, misdemeanors, and traffic tickets in Illinois are eligible for court supervision. In other words, what court supervision is this agreement between the court where you have to do some things, right? Fines, community service, classes, whatever it is. You have to complete these things, and then the case gets closed out in a way that does not result in a conviction on your record. That's pretty good, right? Like, cool, I can take care of this case or this ticket or this DUI in a way that doesn't result in a conviction. That's unique to Illinois, and sometimes that's a really good outcome. Sometimes that's not so good of an outcome. So if your Illinois DUI gets amended or changed from a DUI charge to a reckless driving charge, that may feel good, but what you don't realize is that under Illinois law, you have now made yourself ineligible from ever getting a DUI amended to reckless driving again. And you've also made yourself ineligible for ever getting supervision again on a DUI. So it's this sort of weird nuance that they've created where you kill two birds, and you don't want to kill these birds. These are birds you want to keep. You killed two birds with one stone when you get a DUI amended to a reckless driving. All right, this is getting confusing. Let's pull out the computer and see if I can explain this a little better that's going to resonate with you. So we've got this little matrix here of scenarios. Straight across here is on DUI number 1, does it remain a DUI or does it become reckless driving? And on number 2, does it remain a DUI or does it become reckless driving? That's our little matrix here. So let's go on the very first DUI. if you get supervision on the DUI, then hopefully you've learned your lesson and you never get a DUI again. But if you were to get a DUI again, hopefully you've learned that, the police are not your friend. Maybe you shouldn't drink and drive, certainly. Maybe you shouldn't do the breathalyzer. Maybe you shouldn't do those standard field sobriety tests. And so you've limited the evidence against you. Now you're facing DUI number 2. And the only option here is a conviction. Or legally, it is possible to get your DUI number 2 amended to reckless driving, and you get the reckless. You can get a conviction or supervision. I mean, probably not going to get supervision, but you can get an amended to a reckless driving. So here's the scenario, and this is significant because you are not getting any DUI conviction. Your license is not getting revoked here. That's the scenario. So the opposite is true when on DUI number 1, you get a reckless. It can be a reckless supervision or a conviction. It doesn't really matter. All right, so here now on DUI number 1, you and your lawyer are like, this is amazing. Let's get it amended to a reckless driving, and you get supervision or a conviction. Again, there might be reasons for doing that. That may be a great outcome, but I want to make sure there are reasons for doing that. Better, more than it just feels good. Because here's what doesn't feel good. 10 years later, you get another DUI. You cannot get supervision on that DUI, and you cannot get it amended to a reckless driving charge whatsoever. Impossible. So you're screwed on that. Like, you've got to literally be found not guilty on that DUI number 2. So I get it. You're not planning on getting a second DUI, but were you planning on getting your first DUI? No. It just happened, right? And, you're going to really wish that you hadn't used your lifeline unnecessarily on the first DUI, right? Like, literally, you're not going to use your lifeline, phone a friend on the very first question. You want to save that and use that for when you need it most. And I would tell you that except in some specific circumstances, the average everyday citizen is going to be better off if they can't beat their DUI case outright. They're going to be better off taking court supervision than they are getting it amended to reckless driving. That's the bottom line here. So let me give you 3 scenarios where you are going to be better off getting your DUI charge amended from a DUI to a reckless driving. Those 3 are if you have a CDL, a commercial driver's license. Because of the way that the laws work for CDL holders, you're basically screwed with the DUI and you're better off with a reckless driving. You're more likely to keep your commercial license with a reckless driving. Number 2 is if you have another professional license, like you're a doctor, a lawyer, an airline pilot, like something that has that professional license where they're taking that away if you have a DUI of any type on your record, even supervision on a DUI. You may be better off arguing that, no, this is a reckless driving, and you may be more likely to keep your professional license. In the third scenario, a really big one, really common one, is if you are going through any sort of immigration process, right? You're not a U.S. citizen. You are applying for some phase of immigration here. Because of the way that immigration, a federal law, works with supervision in a state law, you're going to be better off probably, consult your immigration attorney, you're going to be better off probably with a reckless driving as opposed to a DUI. So those are 3 scenarios where you may be better off. But this is the point, guys, is that you can't just say, oh, well, it feels better to have this versus this. You may be setting yourself up for a lifetime of thin ice. So you really want an attorney that is very familiar with these, has done thousands of cases, and is going to shoot you straight. Heck, they might even make videos on the internet trying to shoot you straight and even trying to shoot other lawyers straight on really advocating for what's actually in their client's best interest, not just what allows them to feel good and get the case done with. I hope this makes sense. It's a complicated topic. Now, if you want to talk about your specific situation in your specific case, when give us a call, we're happy to provide you a free consultation and a game plan on how to handle your case.